Well, who is it?
Trouble. Who is the individual that they're attacking? Camarilla affiliation. Absolutely no doubt in my mind. But who are they?
That is one of M's ghouls. During the attack, the ghoul is holding a briefcase, which gets busted open and things just go flying everywhere. I've been able to track the location the ghoul originally came from by finding their train tickets and seeing where they went when M sent them out originally. And they seem to have come from around Venice.
Omnis, I'm not. I don't mean to question your vast knowledge, but are you familiar with any anarch radicals from the Americas, by chance?
I know of several.
Are you aware of the serial diablerist known as Agatha Steric?
I believe I've seen that name on the red list.
Indeed. He gestures to the glowing red eyes. May I introduce to you Agatha's prized pupil, a chip off the old serial diablerist block. If she is in Prague, the Anarchs might have permitted some very extreme measures in response to Kirill's declaration to carry out the blood hunt. He'll turn to the rest of you, and in a tone that's very different than Emil usually carries himself, or like would usually take. If any of you should encounter this woman, do everything in your power to avoid her, flee from her, or ensure that the majority of people around you get away while you die. She
This
is a
is
criminal.
Omnis lets you complete what you're saying, and then pulls up an app on his computer that lets him like pinpoint certain individuals. Like it's kind of like zooming in, but like it brings it up separate on the screen. He does that, and it pulls up, and there's a woman wearing a face mask, like a medical face mask over the lower portion of her face. This is actually who I was originally monitoring when this attack happened.
Do I recognize the upper half or like her?
Her name is Catherine Weiss.
Can I make an intelligence politics to recognize that
You
name?
may.
Would my lore sheet come into play here? As any particular bonus, perhaps?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and
Okay,
utilize that. That can be a +1.
8 successes.
Damn. Okay.
I rolled all successes and 2 10s.
Catherine Weiss is a member of the Camarilla in New York,
Mm-hmm.
who has been having a lot of individuals keep an eye on her because she's suspected of being connected with the Sabbat. She is suspected of being a member of the Sabbat and actually being the old Sabbat Archbishop of New York.
Really?
Yes.
Out of curiosity, have I ever been in proximity to Catherine Weiss? Like at Elysium or back in New York?
Probably not. She doesn't tend to be around the younger kindred.
Okay.
She tends to hobnob with the older kindred.
Okay. Emil just kind of lets Omnis continue talking.
He give me a wits and awareness while Omnis is talking and droning on and on about all of this detail that you probably wouldn't really care about. Like which involves like everything from known haven locations to shoe size.
Oh no, she's talking about Haven locations. He does listen to that.
Yeah, I'm just saying that it drowns from like
Yeah,
very, very important to not very important at all.
I gotcha.
Let's see if you can get another crit.
It's unlikely, but weirder things have happened. 3 successes.
3 successes. Okay, I'm gonna let you notice this. On one of the other screens close by, is a portrait of a woman who is wearing noblewoman's clothing, and she has a veil over her face. And these two individuals have a striking resemblance.
How old of noblewoman's clothing are we talking?
1500s.
Enough to go, yikes.
Yes. He seems to be. He's not. Omnis is not putting any emphasis on that part of their study, but they do seem to be drawing some correlations between Catherine Weiss and this woman in the painting.
So forgive me, dear Omnis, you've been tracking Miss Weiss,
I have.
and she's in Prague,
Yes.
and she's affiliating with this woman. And he gestures to the footage of the mugging.
You're gesturing towards like the mugging, like the attack.
Yeah, the person he knows from the video of the attack.
I have a feeling that this individual, Catherine, may be responsible for the mugging.
I just want to clarify out of character. Is he saying that the person I recognize and Catherine are the same person, or that Catherine's responsible for sending her?
He's saying that he believes that Catherine is responsible for the ghoul being attacked.
Okay.
That they are orchestrating the whole thing.
Okay, that's what I was making sure. Oh dear. To what end?
That would be the question. However, and playing more of the video, you'll notice that as the mugging gets very violent, as in the person being mugged is not going to walk away from this. They are killed. And the muggers start to rifle through the things that have been dropped and flew out of the briefcase. They are going to notice that they've drawn the attention of authorities, and they're going to be chased away by police. But the other woman who's watching everything happen, she just walks away slowly. She doesn't even seem to be really noticed by the police.
The woman with the face mask, you mean?
Yes.
Oh, okay, so she was there in the video as well.
Yes.
Okay.
I have a feeling that this woman may actually be someone who went by the moniker the Agitator of Prague some years back.
Well, if she didn't then, she certainly is now.
Dr. Ford is kind of speechless, but her hand is in her purse, and she is furiously sending a text message to her ghoul about not using this particular exit drink.
Truthfully, what Omnis would really like to get his hands on is whatever was dropped from that briefcase.
Did we see the police kind of collect all that as they...
No, they chased off the person. They chased off the person. An ambulance was called. Major things seem to have been picked up from the briefcase when, like, just fast forwarding through the video and seeing, like, the commotion. Omnis will also say that the individual died in the hospital not long after the attack.
Do we see on the camera, like, any of the contents that may have, like, fell down beneath the platform? Or...
wits and awareness, if anybody's looking specifically.
Just trying to figure out if we're going to have to go to the train station to get these paperwork, or go to the police station to get these paperwork.
Well, that's the thing. Police station, train station, or possibly even hospital if their belongings are still there.
Yeah.
So Dr. Ford will ask, which hospital did they take him to? Was it the Na Františku?
I'm going to say yes, because I don't know many hospitals in Prague.
Yeah, I looked up which hospitals were located within the boundary, and that's the one that's actually it's right on the north end, but it's right within the boundaries.
Okay, then yes, definitely that one. That makes sense.
Looks
It'd
like
probably
Mr.
be the
Prophet.
closest one as well.
3 successes for Mr. Prophet, 3 for Paul, and 3 for Emil.
All three of you are going to notice that a good chunk of paperwork fell over the edge where the train was. All right. So, what are you guys all thinking with the information that you have now?
Well, if that person is M's ghoul, the paperwork that he was being mugged for is likely a masquerade breach, if nothing else.
Possibly.
So it needs to be cleaned up. And really quick, Mekhet, the situation as far as like traveling in the city is not gotten better, right?
It's gotten slightly better to the point where we can probably just boom time to locations now.
Okay.
Because if I can't just have like full on anarch war happening in the streets without like military getting involved, you know.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Ventru's gonna Ventru. We'll hold off the military for a week. Let this calm down. Now we'll sit down.
It is still very much if you see an anarch, by all means, shoot on sight. No one's going to get in trouble. There's still a full-on blood hunt happening for the anarchs, but it's not like crazy battle in the streets right now. Though there is still the red gas that seems to be going, but the humans aren't, they're just not noticing it.
Honest, can we use your map for just a moment?
You just sharp, short, fine. And just hits a couple buttons and one of the other monitors pops up with the map.
Thank you.
You can use the Owlbear map if you'd like to.
Yeah. I just want to see if we can't plot a kind of like we did the first night we all went out. If there's a way that we can like check the locations like in an order, like or like on the way back, from the train station.
So Dr. Ford is going to suggest that we probably should break up into 2 groups, where one group goes to the hospital. She does have some influence in the medical community, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
So she might be able to get people in, probably even deceive people into printing visitor passes so they can traverse the hospital if need be.
I would say your influence could probably get that without a problem.
Okay. So the question is, who's going to the hospital and who's going to the train station?
Yay, let's split the party.
Splitting the party!
I'm always advocating for this.
Fuck.
I'm the worst.
And Prophet will say, and we need to get the gas sample.
Dr. Ford just thinks immediately to herself, but doesn't say it out loud because of her phone call previously with Sigmund. It's like, it's already got the gas sample?
Well, the train station should be close to the border of the gas, so maybe you can kind of do 2 birds with 1 stone over there.
I will head to the train station.
I'll head to the train station.
I guess I'll go to the hospital then. Paul was kind of subtly just kind of waiting to choose one. There's not really a rhyme or reason to his choice.
We're supposed to have
Ford
reasons for these things?
We need to get some supplies first.
Mm-hmm. The Dr. Ford will lock arms with Mr. Kindred and go like, "Oh, I'll be able to show you all the cool things that they do in the hospitals around here. It'll be great."
Field trip.
Sounds wonderful.
Someone find Sam. We need to find Sam. I have a list of supplies we're going to need.
Supplies for what?
To get the gas.
And just bring a
Dr.
support
Ford
bag
just
or
kind of
something.
goes, is that what that dustbuster was for?
That's part of the contraption.
Okay.
I need about 10 feet of garden hose, a turkey baster, and some condoms, maybe some party balloons.
Oh God.
I don't think any of that's in my wheelhouse.
Emil speaks up. You know, I actually might be able to assist you in one of those matters, and I'm going to suspect it's not the one you think it is.
The party balloons?
That is the one.
Garden hose.
Yeah, it's the garden hose.
Don't ask why I have this on me.
I remember you throw great parties, and Dr. Ford works with people that are injured. Or, she said, recently wounded. So he pulls the gun out and he's like, so I'm ready to get for people if we need be.
Much appreciated.
Yeah, are we still in possession of whatever we had from session 1, weapons-wise?
The weapons were all turned in to Custos, but the
Okay.
armory and the practice gallery have been opened downstairs. So,
Cool.
you guys can grab guns before you leave, as long as you sign them out with the keeper first.
I
Or
assume
whoever the keeper has watching the area.
I would. Is it presumptuous of me to assume that I've had a chance to test out the entity rifle?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Over the past month, there would have been a lot of playing with the weapons of the hunters. Just to try and figure out what the hell they're using against you. The weapon that you stole from the entity works just like a regular rifle, but it has two settings. It has a burst feature, which basically opens the entire clip at once on a single target. This causes more damage, but you lose all your ammo in one shot.
Right.
The second is it has the ability to do that as a spray as well, so you can hit multiple targets at once.
Okay. Its damage value?
Damage value is going to be the same as a standard rifle, unless you open it up.
Is that going to? Do you want to go ahead and have me write down the value and how that changes if you open it up?
The value, the way that it changes is if you do the full clip, it's going to be a +5 against whichever target. If you are standing far enough away and decide to do a spray, it'll be a +2, but you can hit up to 5 targets who are standing close to each other.
Dang. Okay.
Yes, it's a hell of a scary weapon.
That's fantastic. All right, I will be checking that out. Of the armory on my way to the railway station.
Okay.
And I will say, just for bookkeeping, Emil would have turned in 3 of the clips that he had collected for this weapon. He'd have kept 1 for himself and not turned that in.
Okay.
I'm going to grab the shotgun, and I would have kept the flashbang grenades.
Yeah. Well, there's only one flashbang grenade because one was used.
Yeah.
Prophet will check out just a pistol and I guess a vest.
There's a ghoul down there who just seems to be all about this is how this is working. If you're going to take this, please sign out. Everything must be accounted for. Like there's an accountant downstairs who's keeping an eye on everything.
Emil would sign out what he needed to.
Okay.
Paul would ask Dr. Ford if she would like to equip themselves before they go, or if she thinks they'll need it.
Well, if we're in a hospital, I think we'd be a little conspicuous if you were wearing heavy armor and carrying around shotguns.
This is true. I was thinking maybe something.
We're here about the
Smaller?
rat problem.
Well, she will ask Omnis about the identity of the ghoul, if there's like any name that she can use when she visits the hospital.
Okay. Let's see. We'll go ahead and say that you have a. Oh, I'm sorry. The ghoul that was attacked. Apologized. I went in a completely different direction. Holy crap.
Sorry.
No, I'm sorry. Let's see. Yes, there's a the ghoul who was attacked is named Devin Rovner.
Devin Rovner. Okay.
At least that's the name that was on their tickets.
Okay. Well, she is going to assume that he's going to be checked in as a John Doe, but Devin Rovner.
Yeah, not checked in as a John Doe because they had like ID and everything on them when they were taken in.
Okay. But she knows the time where he was supposed to have gotten off the train, so she can use some identifying information to pretend like she knows him personally or something.
Okay.
Okay.
They got off the train around 7:30.
Yeah, she checks her cell phone to see if Sigmund knows not to get off at that location.
That is the only train station in the area. How exactly would you try to get here if not that way?
Well, he's supposed to be getting in at 11. So what time is it now, and when will the train group get
We're
there?
going to say, with all the commotion that's been going on, that it's close to 10.
Okay, so she'll just kind of tell Benny and Emil, I have a retainer who should be arriving on the 11 o'clock. So when you're there, please do make sure he doesn't die.
Arriving where?
To the train station.
Is he coming strapped?
Probably not.
Oh.
I don't.
He wasn't. No one was expecting this to happen tonight.
I don't suppose that you've ever upset Miss Weiss.
I've never heard of her before, so I wouldn't know if I have.
Well, then I'm.
Or if
even more.
Sigmund has.
I am. I am even more certain that it's necessary that I take this. And he chambers one in the rifle.
Who are we going after?
So, you're just investigating the train station, but in case the train arrives and someone steps out, I'm going to go ahead and make sure he knows to look for Q for safe transportation back to Elysium. Oh dear.
I don't know why, but I picture like Angela Lansbury being Dr. Ford. Oh dear.
Do you want to send him a picture of us or something?
Are you okay with me taking a picture? She pulls up the flip phone.
Only if you're willing to pay.
Do not take my picture.
Okay.
I'll lean in, smile real big next to Emil.
Having one's image floating across digital networks is quite dangerous in these days.
It is.
Just don't say that to Omnis.
He's right there in the room with us all right now.
Just don't say anything to him right there.
Yeah.
See that guy? See that person right there who's looking right at us?
Yeah.
Don't say anything to them.
She'll not actually take a photo of anyone. She'll pretend to. So she will eventually, later on, she'll probably text Sigmund to say there will be a gaggle rather than a coterie there to pick him up at the train station. But probably not in those exact words.
Prophet says, so Dr. Ford, what's your play at the hospital? Are one of you going to be pretending to be the next of kin to pick up the belongings? Because if they, nodding towards Omnis, would let me use some of their gear, I might be able to make you an ID.
Oh, it is okay. So I have an inn at the hospital, and we'll be able to get there just fine. I was thinking of just saying I have a friend of a friend, and I was told that they were supposed to be getting off at the train station at 7:30, and he wasn't there when I showed up. But it looked like there may have been some kind of attack, so I thought I'd visit the hospital first.
Okay.
Something innocuous, something that a nervous woman like myself might just do.
Emil, while they're talking, is going to kind of step out away from them to Omnis and just lean down. If you don't mind me asking for a minor favor, I could use a untraceable cellular device for just a brief moment.
Omnis looks at you. It's very unnerving because you can't see what their face looks like. So reading any kind of emotion from this kindred is nearly impossible. It's completely impossible, truthfully, especially with the modulated voice and the fact that when you stare at them in the face, all you really do is see your own reflection back at you.
Yeah.
Omnis reaches into a pocket and says, "Omnis can comply," and hands it to you.
While they are doing that, can I use reveal temperament?
On Omnis,
Yeah,
you can try.
it is a rouse check.
All right. What book is that in?
Player's guide.
Player's Guide. Is that Presence?
It is Auspex.
Auspex. Okay. I'm loving the new disciplines in the Player's Guide. It's a lot of fun.
I know. I have built. I say built. I very much took inspiration from the siren from the actual game. For Emil's discipline setup. Or discipline arrangement rather. And I think they all fit him rather well. So.
Okay, being the fact that your difficulty is the composure plus subterfuge, I'm going to go ahead and say that you are just going to have a straight out difficulty of 5 with this one.
Yeah, that sounds about right, considering who it is. I believe it's a wits auspex roll, correct?
It is an
Intelligence.
intelligence plus auspex.
Oh, okay. I will make a gamble with a blood surge.
Probably a good idea.
A 10 and a 1 on my
Not a good
hunger.
gamble.
Not a good gamble. Hunger goes to 2. So this is an intelligence. Oh, it's not a bestial failure, but it is a total failure.
Oh gosh.
I didn't roll a single success.
That it's good that it's not bestial.
Yeah,
Burn a point of will.
there's no point.
Yeah.
I would
3 can't beat a 5.
You're not going to beat 5.
unless I were to just somehow re-roll into 2 10s.
True.
I mean, it's possible,
Do it.
but
Crazier
It's-
things
That
have
would still
happened.
get you 4.
Do it if you're bad.
I'd have to roll 2
It's
10s.
not a bestial failure, so go ahead, not risk it for the biscuit.
come
Yeah.
on, let's re-roll it and see if we can get that bestial failure. I mean, that critical win.
Well, the hunger dice were 2 4s, so there's no risk of a
Yeah.
bestial failure or a messy crit here. But
All right.
so,
So yeah,
No
it's
dice.
not going to work. But yeah, Omnis hands you a phone.
thank you.
It's a flip phone. It looks probably about 20 years old.
Perfect. Emil is. So if you would excuse me for just a moment, and I'm going to make my way to our private area.
That is a good idea. Is that a private chat as well, or are you gonna just talk in the private area of you guys?
No, I think this conversation will provide more questions and answers.
Okay, sounds good.
Emil will depart from everyone. If you would just give me just a few moments, I need to make a call, and he'll leave. You guys can. Do you want to? I don't know if you guys want me to cut over. Do we want to cut over to that conversation, or do you guys have? Do you want to cover more with everybody else?
Does anybody else have anything to do down here?
Nope. Paul's ready to go.
Okay, let's go ahead and just get Emil's conversation out of the way then.
I will dial the number with the area code given and make the call.
Okay.
I am sitting in the very back part of our room, made sure to like drop down like cloth or blanket or some kind in front of the door, to like at the bottom of the door to make sure like try to cancel as much noise leaving this room as possible.
Well, the way that the room works is it's an open area, but it does have a portcullis if you decide to push that button.
Oh, okay.
So there's no
Then
actual door.
I'll just go into the room and turn on some music
Okay.
to kind of muffle out any any sounds that might be overheard.
Okay. Before this conversation takes place, I'm going to ask one more time. Are you sure you do not want this to be in a personal chat?
I'll let it be your decision. If you think it should be private, then
I'm
go
just
for
saying that like things could come out that you don't want out yet, or yeah, it's up to you.
Slide behind closed doors.
Now,
Yeah, we'll go-
everybody here is very awesome about not using out of character information, so that's up to you.
We'll go behind closed doors.
Okay. All right. So
I trust all you guys, but this is a reveal I'm not ready to make yet.
yeah,
Probably.
this could be a reveal that pops up only in the podcast. Who knows?
Yeah.
So I guess we're gonna leave the Elysium for a second. You guys can chat amongst yourselves in character, or out if you feel the need, and we are gonna do a personal chat. All right. So the phone rings, and you hear Lucin's voice. Hello,
Hello,
Henry.
Lucinda.
Now, please
Good.
explain to me the situation that's happening in Prague right now.
Well, there's quite a lot of things happening in Prague right now. You received my last my out of character, just had a brain fart on the word, correspondence.
Yes,
Received my previous correspondence.
I did. Who, M? I'm assuming Marcus's child, M.
Yes. Marcus's child M has a return to the Elysium and is claiming that she has documented justification from you that she is to take Marcus's place should he not be found.
Is she now?
Indeed.
That is an interesting development.
I presume that it is a false claim.
It is completely false.
I had suspected as such. Any news on the Archons coming in this direction?
Things have calmed down to the point where there's no longer fighting in the streets directly. We are trying our best to get through. I'm trying to think of the best way of putting this because it's something that I'm surprised that we are even considering. We are currently utilizing our new friends in Clan Lasombra to try to get into as much information we can in the Catholic Church to find out exactly what the entity is doing.
Well,
If we
then
could
by
find
that,
out exactly how the entity found out about the convention, it might quicken our pace.
it is something I've been trying to acquire information on. Been doing reconnaissance among the court, and
Well,
unfortunately, it doesn't seem as though anyone's-
suspected that the anarchs caused a problem, but as much as I would like to blame them on that, I'm not 100% positive how accurate that is.
It's enough from my observations, Justicar. There is nothing to support this. It's nothing more than Kirill's personal vendetta against the anarchs for reasons I've yet to discover, but he has them.
Mm.
There's no evidence to support whatsoever that this form of organization and preparedness has come about simply because anarchs were messy. If it were small-time individual cells of hunters, very likely, but this is full scale.
Well, with how fast the entity was able to gain a footing in the city, it seems that if anything, possibly somebody told them what was happening.
That's precisely where my line of thinking has been. Also, as of moments ago, there's been a new development in the political scene. Catherine Weiss is in Prague. And
Catherine
so
Weiss.
it's accompanied with none other than a radicalist from New York, Natalie Bronx. I don't know if Agatha Starrick is here, but if Natalie's here, along with Catherine Weiss, the Anarchs they're far more desperate than perhaps I thought.
That is a lot of information.
The last hour of my night has been one overwhelming source, whiplash of information to the next. I've continued to maintain my cover.
Good. That might be necessary.
I think I've got, if necessary, that I reveal if I blow my cover, which I've maintained it for several years, I would hate to. I may have a decent group of candidates to perform as auditors and bellators in my stay while I'm here.
Where I do give you permission to deputize who you need to deputize, be careful not to let your cover slip. Coril could be a issue. In fact, on the M situation, let her subterfuge play out. I'm not asking you to lie for her, because that could raise suspicions. But don't turn her in.
She offers a chance of potential stability, so I can see why that might be useful. But what am I to do when she starts bearing down her self-imposed authority? Play along?
Play along for now. She has contact in the TSA. That could be useful.
Very. And then turn on the charm, flash you the smile. I'll make quick friends. Everyone here either thinks that they think I'm a mill. Eccentric, airheaded.
Yeah, you have a good cover.
No thanks. No short thanks to you, of course. So I'll allow the subterfuge to play out?
Yes.
Very well. I will keep my pager on me at all times, should you need any further correspondence or directives. Otherwise, I will continue to operate as every Alistair is assumed to.
Okay. Try to keep me posted. This phone that you're on, it's I've put it through a trace, and I'm having a hard time even doing that. Where did you get this?
The Nosferatu Primogen,
Omnis.
yes. They are... Well, their knowledge of technology far surpasses my own. Just saying much, in all fairness, but...
I don't think anyone would be able to trace this phone. You may want to hold on to it.
Understood.
Keep me posted on the situation.
I will.
And she will abruptly hang up.
Okay. Henry, will he'll close the phone, kind of grasping it in his left hand, kind of forcibly, something he only does when he's really putting on a show, but in this moment, this is just him. He's been in deep cover for, God, forever, for months, years.
Hearing his real name was probably a shock.
Yeah. So he takes a minute and just, I think he kind of just, ruminates or simmers in this moment of, thank God I don't have to play this pompous ass. and then he forcibly takes a deep breath, and his posture just kind of straightens. His demeanor goes back to being a mill.
Okay.
And he will pocket the phone opposite of his pager in his coat, and will saunter back out into the Elysium to meet the others.
Okay.
Emil will just come back out to wherever everybody's at.
Everything okay?
Well, of course, darling. Everything's just fine. Everything's fine. Just an important phone call, that's all.
Dr. Ford's going to use Scry the Soul.
All right.
So I need to pull it up the things, but it's a rouse check and
Believe it
pull
is
up the wordage. But let me go ahead and do that rouse check first.
I
Sure.
believe, if my knowledge does not fail me, that it is an intelligence aspects versus wits composure, I believe.
It is, in fact, an intelligence aspects versus composure plus subterfuge.
Subterfuge.
I'm getting hungry.
Welcome to the party.
Yay!
What exactly is Dr. Ford attempting to do here using Scry the Soul?
So I notice he's putting on a cheerful demeanor. I want to know what his current emotional state is.
That actually could be quite
Ooh.
complicated, considering.
It is a very complicated one.
Also, if Emil is keeping the information to themselves, which I assume they are,
Yeah.
your emotional state is going to be very off, considering the fact that you are going to take a stain.
Oh,
I can only imagine what it would look like if somebody was using Scry the Soul with somebody who literally just took a stain a second before.
Oh yeah.
I guess I can't argue my conviction against this stain, can I?
Let's see your conviction argument, actually. Conviction arguments are always welcome.
Well, considering that my conviction is never deny yourself a fruitful opportunity,
Hmm.
and is I almost caught myself arguing against myself for a second. Hold on a minute.
Get those lawyer skills up.
Yeah, hold on. To play this hand is not a fruitful opportunity, so he should counter to his conviction, not reveal this information currently.
Mm-hmm.
It is not fruitful for him to reveal anything that he just learned. In fact, it would be quite the opposite.
Very true, except for always share intel of the current mission with your coterie.
Yeah.
So yes, that's still a stain.
Worth a shot.
Understood.
Good attempt.
So his emotional state, it's a complex, very complicated stir of emotion. I'll describe it like this. On the surface, it is worried. Just beneath that, it's annoyed. Beneath that, even deeper still, there's almost separate from those two surface emotions, as if buried really, really deep down in his mind is, I don't know how to describe it in an emotional sense. Compliance, willingness to comply. Does that feel suitable to you, storyteller?
It does.
Okay.
Yeah, Emil seems incredibly, I don't know,
Conflicted.
trapped in a situation in a way.
so I would say Dr. Ford knows that feeling,
Conflicted.
Conflicted.
but also, I think I would say that for her, she remembers this feeling and then remembers murdering the person who caused her to feel this way.
You remember murdering the person that caused you to feel that way, huh?
Yeah.
Why don't you give me a composure and a composure and resolve check, Dr. Ford?
Okay, and that's with or without blood dice.
With blood dice.
Okay.
And I will say that all of that is buried under that a very thin veil of forced happiness or jovialness.
Oh Lord.
Bestial success.
Oh, wow.
Messy crit.
We love messy crits out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Let's see. Okay, this is how this is going to work. You're going to hear that voice in the back of your head talking about, doesn't this seem familiar?
Gosh.
But you're
The
just going to
timing
be
over
able
here, I
to.
don't know.
You're going to be able to fight that off in the most catty freaking way possible with that
Oh man,
success. You are incredibly excited. You're incredibly happy with the fact that you were able to handle that issue as fast as you did, and
I
because of
do
that,
remember this. This is so familiar. I remember the look on your face. She's this is her internal monologue. I remember that look on your face when you realized it didn't work. I remember how I felt when I got rid of you and then realized I had to clean up big time.
and in that moment, as you're remembering the cleaning up and the success that you had in that situation, you're going to be suffering from perfectionism, your clan compulsion, in the next scene.
Perfect.
As all of that happens in just a matter of seconds, as Emil comes out the door to the group, well, if everyone is ready, shall we get on our business for the evening?
Indeed.
I'm ready.
Yes.
Ready.
Let's do this.